Hey guys, it's Raging Roadrunner here with another video today. I want to talk about supports. I myself support main. I think Overwatch has done something to this game that no other game in my opinion has done before, and that is make support fun. And all the other games that I've played where there's some sort of healer or anything like that, I have really just not enjoyed it and wondered why anybody would want to play it. So, congrats Overwatch. You maybe enjoy healing people. Alright, anyway, so I just want to go through and talk about each of one of them and where they kind of stand right now and what they look like in the meta. And I'm going to start off with Ana due to the recent nerfs on her. Everyone here should know that Ana recently was taken down from 100% healing on the grenade down to 50% healing boost. And so it kind of made the triple tank meta a little less viable. Granted, if you have a good Ana, the triple tank meta is still very alive. You can still run it, and she is still good. Everybody expected her to stay good. It's just she's not as good. She's not as strong, and I think it's what they needed to do to kind of balance the game a little bit more. But even with the nerfs, her burst healing is still the strongest. She can keep tanks alive for days with the correct positioning, and her anti-heal is just too good in team fights. I love it. Ana's a lot of fun to play. Of course, she has a high skill rating. Can take a lot to learn her and get good with her, but she is definitely worth learning, definitely worth using, and she's still very much in the meta. I don't think her viability or strength has been questioned by anybody, so I'm not going to spend much more time talking about her. Basically, use her, she's good. But I'm going to go and start talking about her counterpart, the person that has the next highest healing under her, Mercy. Mercy is an interesting pick, simply because a lot of the higher ranks, you hardly ever see her. You'll almost always see Ana taken over Mercy any day. Whereas in lower ranks, Mercy is all over the place. You think she's the best support in the game with how much she's played. But that's really not the case. So many people in the lower tiers think that Mercy is the easiest support to play, when I definitely do not agree. It's because of the fact that she is the squishiest of the supports and has the least amount of utility. Everybody thinks, oh, I can just left click to heal, I should play her, but then they don't know how to stay alive. She's only got 150 health compared to the 200 of all the other supports in the game, and everybody else has a way to escape situations. Zenyatta can melt targets that are coming at him, and he can ult to make himself invulnerable. Lucio can wall ride to the end of his days and escape, and he's most mobile of all of them, so it's just really hard to catch him, and he's constantly having that healing on himself as well. And then Ana can put targets to sleep, and then also grenade them. So what can Mercy do? She can pull out her little crappy pistol and hope that she survives, and it's very unlikely. I can't tell you how many games I've seen in the lower tiers where somebody picks Mercy because they say she's quote-unquote easiest, and then they fail to actually stay alive with her, and we have fight after fight after fight where you check who has ults left, and you see the Mercy, the red X, and the little icon next to her. If you can't stay alive as Mercy to press Q to res the team, then you literally are better off playing any other healer, because without the res value from Mercy, she's just really not worth playing. There's been so many times where I will tell our Mercy when I have one on my team that if a fight's going sour, if you see the enemy ulting a lot, just hide. Stop healing completely. Just go and hide and wait for us to die, and then swing the fight back in our favor when you res. Because if a Mercy is left unattended and can get her res value off, she can easily swing fights in her favor, which is why you get the term tempo res. The enemy team has the tempo going in that direction, Mercy reses, it completely swaps, you can kind of freak out or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, everybody's back up alive, you can kind of tilt them in a way, and you can actually end up winning the fight after you've already technically lost it. So, if you can stay alive, she can be pretty good. But you have to be able to learn to stay alive and be getting the res value out of her. Next, I want to talk about somebody else that has difficulty getting value, and I'm still not sure she belongs in the support category, and that is Symmetra. She recently got some changes too that made her a lot more viable than she was in the past, but still she has some issues. For starters, if anybody can play Winston or Pharah, then those turrets are gone. And then now your value has diminished because you don't have one of the core parts of your kit. Also, if you don't stay alive to get your teleporter value, and then they push past the first point or whatever you're playing on, then you instantly lose even more value off of her. But I know to a lot of the lower tier players, Symmetra can sometimes seem like a god, because all she has to do is walk up to you, left click, and then she melts your health bar. I know I have been subject to a little bit too much panic sometimes when it comes to Symmetra. It's like she locks on and then suddenly my aim turns to even more crap than it already is. And so that's one advice I would give against playing as Symmetra. Don't get scared when she locks onto you. She's still pretty squishy. She only has 200 health. You can still melt through her if you play it right. But if you are playing with Symmetra on your team, I would actually suggest being careful about taking 2 healers that round, because since she is technically still a support and not DPS or defense, then you can be lacking in some of that aspect if you take her over another DPS. I know that before the changes, I was never excited to see a Symmetra on her team. I figured it was automatic loss, just never liked it. Now, it's a little less that way, but at the same time, I don't think she's the one to pick on a 2 CP and all that sort of stuff. If she's played well, she can do well. If you don't fight against her the way you're supposed to, taking down her teleporter as soon as you can, as a team and all that sort of stuff, then she can still be very good. You can get a lot of value out of her. If you fail to do that, then you're not getting as much value, and I really would rather have like a Mei or something else that might be a little bit more viable to the meta, the team comp, and stuff like that. So my best advice for Symmetra is just to be careful about when you pick her, and don't think that she is the god of 2 CP. Next on my list though is Zenyatta. Zenyatta can be a very good healer, but he's definitely not a main healer. If you find yourself on a team that won't switch and you're just on Zenyatta, switch to somebody else, because he just doesn't have the burst healing to keep anybody alive, unless you get his ult, but honestly you're going to have a team fight before that happens. But what he is good with is actually working with flankers, because he can put his orb on somebody, on a flanker, and just kind of leave it there, and then be behind the Reinhardt death ball or whatever, and spam his orbs from there, and get the discords out and stay safe, while the person that is flanking can go off and do their crazy thing and be a little, a lot less safe. Also, I would be careful about running him and Lucio together, because neither of them have any sort of burst healing. Lucio's amped healing is still less than Soldier's healing that he can place down. So what you don't want to do is find yourself not being able to keep your team alive, because neither of y'all have the amount of healing that can do the job. So I think Zenyatta is best paired with an Ana or Mercy. On another note, Zenyatta will always be a strong pick when there are a lot of tanks on the enemy team, or some other targets that have been difficult to focus and you need some extra burst damage. All in all, I think Zenyatta is a strong pick in this meta. I think he's always going to be a good pick, and there's not really anything that needs an update or anything that makes him bad. At the same time, if you have an Ana or Mercy and you're playing King of the Hill or 2 CP or something like that, and you're feeling a little bit slow and you're playing Zenyatta still, then it might be time to switch to Lucio. And that's who I want to talk about last. My boy Lucio, who has probably the most ridiculous ability in the game, which is his speed boost. His speed boost can be so unbelievably overpowered, because not only if a fight goes bad, you can just back them right back out, your whole team can run away faster than the enemy can, but also if you're winning a fight and you want to chase down those last few frags, you can just speed boost right into them, and they're really not going to get away. So I feel like he's very core to a lot of the different game modes. He can be viable in any of them at all times, especially on 2CP when your team is just poking at the choke and you need to get past it, and also King of the Hill, because King of the Hill, when you start off, whoever can get the best positioning the quickest is most likely going to be the people to cap the point first. So he definitely is a good pick. He definitely belongs in this meta. He's still the strongest of the healers between him and Ana. They are just a killer duo that is just too good and will be in the meta for a long time, I think, unless they make some more serious changes to him. So if you don't know how to play him for whatever reason, just hit shift a few times and transfer back and forth between healing and speed. Learn to play him. Get some good game sense. Know when to speed boost your team past different points, or to go chase down kills, all that sort of stuff. He is an amazing pick, and I love him to death. He's by far the coolest hero in the game. So in conclusion, I would say that Ana and Lucia are still top of the leaderboard on support, followed closely by Zenyatta, then Symmetra, then Mercy. Sorry to Mercy mains, I just don't think she's the best. But if you would like to hear more information about these guys, I would love to do another video on it. I love the support. Like I said at the very beginning, I think Overwatch has done a very good job in the support category and made it fun. But I just wanted to do a quick overview of where they stand in the meta right now and where I think they are in terms of skill and viability. So if you'd like to hear more, let me know in the comments, and please hit the like button and subscribe, and also stay hydrated.